Welcome to the Sham Show with Marco and Curtis.
Today we're here with John Molnar, the Goldfish guy. What's up, John?
What up?
Living the dream, man. Out here slinging the goldfish, you know?
Slinging goldfish.
You know it, man.
That is an absolute dream.
It's not terrible by any means.
It's a very interesting time to be in the industry.
Absolutely.
You picked an excellent time, so just to jump right in, what's kind of your background?
So my background, basically, I've been in the grocery CPG industry. CPG, for those of you that may not know, is consumer packaged goods. I've been in that industry for 22, almost 23 years at this point. It's always been some type of retail or grocery retail management. Just left my current position at Kraft Heinz and basically started my own independent Pepperidge Farm distributorship. So I have
Recently?
Yeah, actually.
When was that?
I just closed my deal December 13th of 2019.
Yeah, and it couldn't have been better timing.
The timing is unbelievable.
Yeah. Fortunate for a lot of people, but you know how it is. You know, when business is booming, supply demand, and obviously shelves have been clearing out for toilet paper, sanitizer, and snacks. So we've been slinging them goldies.
Great time to be the snack plug.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The Goldfish guy. So basically, guys, like the last 2 weeks now, I've pretty much gone through almost 2 months of inventory in just under 2 weeks. Running some of my numbers over the weekend, I have gone through almost 30,000, about 31,000 units. And a unit is an individual.
One package.
Wow.
One package.
And that's in how long?
Just under 2 weeks at this point. Things really started getting crazy for us here in the Rockford area last Thursday.
So that's an important thing too. This is the Rockford area, the 815.
Yeah.
So obviously things differ across America and the globe, but this is kind of our situation. It's in the Midwest in Illinois. And tell them what stores you serve, if you can. Can you?
Yeah, so basically, as an independent distributor, I operate underneath my LLC, JAAM 815 Enterprise.
Shout out to me.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. So underneath that
Excellent.
LLC, I am an independent Pepperidge Farm distributor. I own the sole distribution and sales rights to 13 stores here in the Rockford market. That's all affected by Pepperidge Farm as a corporation, so nobody can come into my geographical area and encroach on my sales district. I have both Meijer here in town, both Target. I've got 3 Schnucks here in town. I've got a Walmart in Rockton. I've got Woodman's, which is my top dog.
Ooh, love Woodman's.
Yeah,
Love it.
They are an absolute beast. I love the people that
They
work
are.
there.
It's my favorite grocery store around, I will say.
If you can't
And I
find
live
it
up the
there-
street.
Good
Yeah.
luck. Good luck finding it anywhere.
Exactly. If you guys can't find it there, you know you're not going to get it.
Exactly.
I've got 3 stores out towards Winnebago, Pecatonica, and Durant. Those are like my smaller mom and pop, country-ish type stores
Oh,
where
okay.
more local.
That was
more
something I
shop.
found kind of interesting, that you had that kind of cluster and then just a few sprinkled out to the west like that.
They're kind of like shopping marts, kind of like smaller stores.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's a Topway in Pecatonica, which is just like a little country store. Got the Pacemaker Junior out in Durant,
Right.
and then Sullivan's in Winnebago.
Right. So you got 13 stores total, and you
Yeah.
supply them with, you were saying, snacks and cookies?
I do all the goldfish and all the cookie items.
He does not supply the Horizon milk. I'm going to go ahead and just get that out of the shop,
Alright.
actually. That was just a joke, kind of. But,
So, I mean, with everything going on lately, man. So your hot movers, like what's
what's
is that-
popping off?
So-
I mean, what does that mean for the supply chain too? Like, are there going to be complications with keeping
Yeah.
up, or like prices? Break it down.
So that's a great question, actually. Let's take that in 2 parts. So basically, with the supply chain, they have minimized some of the slower moving SKUs, and a SKU is, let's say
Product number.
Yeah, it's a
Some of the
product
more
number.
elaborate stuff.
Exactly, it's tied to like an individual item that may or may not sell better or worse than said item.
Mhm.
So the original Goldfish and the Flavor Blasted Goldfish, those are like my top 2 dogs. Basically, have gone through over 100 cases of those in less than 2 weeks. It's unbelievable.
And to give people an idea, you're entering the market new. What were you expecting versus what you're doing?
I expected, steady sales with this household name that the majority of consumers would know. I mean, Pepperidge Farm is a great product. Goldfish is one of those healthier for you snacks that kindergartners and preschoolers have on that approved list.
Mm.
That's
you
another
know,
one I really was kind of finding that you had a lot of insights into,
Yeah.
you know, where the demand is at for these types of alternative snacks, and you know, the transparency for these companies for people to know what's in their food.
Of course.
That's a good one to kind of.
So you're saying which ones
well.
are on the healthier side or the acceptable side?
Well, so the top two, flavors are going to be the original Goldfish and the flavor blasted Goldfish. The Goldfish in general, it's not a terrible product. It is a better for you item. There's no
It's better than Pringles pound for pound,
there's
right?
no preservatives, no unnatural colors. Everything we do is plant based for the colors, for the preservatives and all that stuff. And
So it's a reasonably healthy snack.
yeah,
It's carby,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, but you can eat 55 Goldfish for a serving, and it's roughly, say, 130, 140 calories for for that serving.
Not a
And
bad
that's
source of
manageable.
calories.
Yeah, and it's for the baby Goldfish. I think it's even double that.
That's something I actually never thought about. Not having kids, or
I love
even growing up, I
goldfish.
never really
They're
ate
so
many
cute.
goldfish. Like growing up in an Italian household, but yeah, that's interesting that you're saying that they're not even. It's not like a chip or a cookie. It's a decent source of energy.
Yeah,
It's a good snack.
It definitely, like, who doesn't
It's
like
a
a
snack
goldfish?
that smiles back. I mean, come on.
And
Yeah, it's smiling at
They
you.
killed it.
So check this
How
out.
can you not like that? What's
So-
wrong with you?
So the whole snack that smiles back, that Goldfish came out somewhere in the 1960s, and it wasn't until almost 30 years later that the actual smile was put on that Goldfish.
Really?
Whether or not that was by accident or not, I really don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Just
But
that little.
that's that
So
little-
you're
that's
saying
so
we need a goldfish historian to confirm whether that
Yeah.
was purposeful or accidental.
I reckon that nip did a whole lot for the sales though.
Something I was asking earlier is to give people perspective, because I don't even know. You went into this expecting to sell, let's say, 10,000 units, and you sold 31,000, or what's a rough, what were you expecting?
Well, 2 months, 2 weeks is what you were saying. So like
I
with
have-
like that surge in demand, I'm sure that
Yeah.
has come about.
I have blown through almost 2 months worth of inventory in like just around 2 weeks.
Okay.
So like 4 times average business compacted into that amount
2
of
weeks.
time, which in turn, like you were saying, is going to impact some
Yeah.
less popular SKUs of certain products for
Exactly.
availability.
Because we want to produce, those high velocity items, the items that people are coming to the store for. Exactly.
Right.
So you're
some
saying
of
to the
oddball
so you're saying to
stuff
the
like those.
consumer, then are they going to see less availability of the odd ones? Like, what do we have? Caramel apple and
It's probably all based around what
Irish
moves,
cream
right?
Milano.
Yeah, so that's the reality of the business that I'm in right now. Not only are we're not the only people going through something like that. There are many other companies with supply chain issues right now due to getting the ingredients just to make, bake, produce, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
We are seeing significant cuts across the entire U.S.
So let's say Pepperidge Farms is channeling resources into the popular items like goldfish and flavor blasted goldfish, and maybe some of the less popular caramel apple Pepperidge Farm products might not be as produced. They might kind of cut that off for a little bit and discontinue.
Those
Yeah.
sound so
That-
good.
very-
have
that's
to slow
interesting.
the
I didn't know
distribution
that.
on something like that. There's a lot of
I
other
didn't think about
companies
that, yeah.
that are dealing with that right now. Like Frito-Lay's dealing with it. Nabisco's dealing
Yes,
with
yeah.
that. As we all know, bread has been really hard to come by. Bread's been another one. Not only for Pepperidge Farm, but like Wonder Bread and Sara Lee and any of these other guys. It's really tough to even make up for something like that. Look at the toilet paper situation too.
Right.
We probably just went through 10 years supply of toilet paper in 10 days.
Yep.
People
And
just
no one can
buy it.
prepare for that. My dad's analogy was, as a restaurant owner, you expect for 50 guests and you get 1,000 guests.
Yeah,
You
that's-
cannot prepare for that.
That's exactly what we're dealing with still in this industry. Today is the first day that things really started to mellow out.
That's what I was going to ask, yeah.
They basically have started to plateau a little bit for us. I get my shipments from Ohio, and I get a truck that comes every week. We get a 56-foot trailer that comes to my warehouse, and we have to unload that, stage everything on our pallets and get it ready, to be shipped out to the stores, the following day. And we had hundreds of cases cut yesterday on my delivery. So, I don't want to talk too deep into numbers or anything like that, but yeah, every company out here in the food industry, we're dealing with the same thing. Pepsi, for instance, they ran out of water in this market.
Wow.
They had to start.
Was that Dasani or whatever?
That's Aquafina. Actually.
Aquafina.
Yeah.
So they ran out of Aquafina, and now they're probably channeling some resources to bottle more Aquafina.
Absolutely. And you're gonna want to
That's
focus on the core.
Very
items.
interesting angle, yeah. So we'll see less diversity maybe through this for a period of time.
Milk and eggs. That's another thing that I mean, there's been emergency shipments working around the clock, 24/7. Trucks are coming in from all areas of the U.S. just trying to redistribute and resupply any.
So now my question in this is, people are buying 4 times the amount of goldfish, but they're not eating 4 times the amount of goldfish. So obviously they're stockpiling or storing up in their pantries, which I think is right to do reasonably. I've had a recent nut craze, and I have a whole corner cabinet full of nuts. But getting non-perishables is fine. But obviously they're not eating them. So does that mean that the next 2 weeks, the next month, your sales suffer, or does that mean that people are spending more towards snacks than before?
Well, that double-edged sword, unfortunately. So here's the deal, and here's my take on that. So I do feel that sales are really going to plateau and level off. There's going to be an absolute dip when I have sold 4 times the amount
there
of
must be.
I usually do.
People are not eating 4 times the amount of snacks.
Exactly, but here's the other kicker. So now all these kids are out of school. They're back home from college because colleges have been closed down.
So there is an
preschool
increase in home
so that part
food.
that part of it is very industry dependent.
So so that'll take away from that dip to a capacity.
Yeah, but that's you in your case in your industry because you sell snacks.
Yeah.
Right.
Now someone who
especially
sells
kid-friendly snacks like the Goldfish.
Of course,
that's huge.
Someone who makes, I was talking to a gym owner earlier today actually, and I was talking to them about transitioning to maybe a home gym style or doing training videos for at home. So people are adapting. In your case, you may not even have to adapt. You might just benefit overall because kids are at home more, eating more snacks, and not eating school lunches. They're eating your snacks.
Yeah, I mean, you've got it figured out.
Honestly.
I mean, you're the guy that supplies it, basically. To
the snack
so
plug.
you already figured
Snacks
it
never
out.
go out of style.
That's true.
Especially ones that smile back. That'll
Snacks
never go out of style.
Pepperidge Farms will be here for longer than you can remember.
That's a good point, yeah. I mean, kids are definitely home, and they're definitely going to eat this. So...
100%.
I'm sure I'll see a little bit of a dip.
Oh, and that's another thing, especially with you stocking them and seeing people and all that. You have to be. I mean, I'm surprised I even let you in my house. You must be a germ.
You guys all probably have it at this point.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I've kind of, to be honest, on a slightly serious note, I've kind of, come to the conclusion, accepted my fate, come to the conclusion that I'm in contact with a lot of people, and I'm young, and to be honest, I'm just not going to visit my grandma for the next couple months. I'll stay in contact with her. But yeah, people like me and you, or you and I and Kurt and Slouch, we can't self-quarantine entirely. And we have to understand that we're younger people and we're going to be spreading this. So just stay away from old people and people with compromised immune systems.
And clean yourself.
Be responsible.
And don't be coughing all over the place and shit.
But on a real note, we contact a lot of people and we're sharing, if it's airborne and we're touching each other, if you had it or I had it today, we both have it. By the end of this the end of this video,
this is
period.
The Corona sesh.
Yeah. Corona sesh, guys.
Corona sesh. And that's just something that I've kind of accepted, and John takes that, I suppose, as a risk of his job. Like, his business is booming, of course he's going to go out and stock snacks.
For those not biscuits, but Goldfish.
Yeah, he risks it.
And,
these are almost biscuits. Local or more mom-and-pop grocery store owner is going to think of, his store is the same way the corporate guy would. I'm going to put what sells best, what's got the best margins at the front.
Service level would be another thing.
Yeah, service level or within even eyesight is one thing versus higher on the shelf or lower for kids and adults. Places based on price, so maybe a generic or a non-generic brand or name brand, and then also children, people who are no higher than 3 feet have this line of sight, so you have to place it there for them.
Really
I find that
depends on the item too.
I find that really fascinating, just how that science breaks down, because we're talking about when you make a little tweak like that, when you move the let's say the mint and dark chocolate, when you rearrange these and you're talking about the scope that we're talking about with Walmart and Meijer, whatever big brand, you're talking about millions of dollars, billions of dollars just by moving it from this shelf. So Kurt being a numbers guy who's like numbers intensive, I'm not as numbery, so I see I kind of see it more on the face value, whereas Kurt's saying you have a larger pool of data, you have more customers and more sales, so now you can take this data and you can actually use it. Whereas at our scale, with a few
being a
retail
really small
stores,
scale manufacturer,
it's harder. It's harder to predict sales and consumer movement. Period.
Right.
So that's a really good point. That's where you're set up very nicely because you sell these particular snacks, which don't change too often, and you can use that consumer data and you can look at the world.
The greater
news
the
and see how
demand
it's
is for a product, the more predictable it becomes.
I think we should about wrap her up and then get John back to talk about other hilarious things. We'll have him here at least by the 4th of July, but if not before then. And
I can bring some stuff.
Maybe he'll
Oh,
give us a new snack
absolutely.
update depending on where this goes. If we run out of goldfish, guess who we're calling? We're gonna say, John, you said we
know
wouldn't.
who we're calling.
You said we wouldn't run out of goldfish. Goldfish Busters.
I like it, man. Thank you guys for having me on. This is really cool.
Of course, man.
It was a
Thank
lot of
you.
fun.
Absolutely.
Great
Super
talk.
stoked you made it out.
Thanks for coming, John.
Absolutely. Thank you. Be some nuts,
Corona
Johnny
bump.
Cut Corners.
Johnny Cut
The
Corners.
Corona bump.
And that'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Johnny?
Thank you.